Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're talking about how you can play through a song called More Than Words by Extreme. And if you want to play along with the recording, actually you'll have to retune your guitar. So you have to kind of take your tuners and loosen them up just a little bit to retune the guitar to E flat, B flat, G flat, D flat, A flat, and E flat. But we're just going to do this lesson in standard tuning. And we're going to start on a G major chord. And when we play G major, first finger is going to go to the A string on the second fret, second finger on the low E string on the third fret, and then third finger on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now another G major you may want to think about using through the song, though, would be doing first finger on the A string second, second finger on the low E string third, third finger on the B string third fret, and then the pinky on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord. Is another way to play G major. And then from the G major, and kind of our intro, which kind of becomes our verse, we go into a C major chord. When we play C major, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger goes to the D string on the second fret, and third finger goes to the A string on the third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now another C you may want to think about through the song, though, is something called C major 9. When we play C major 9, first finger goes to the D on the second fret, second finger on the A string third fret, third finger on the B string on the third fret, and the pinky on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that's called C major 9. So you want to think about using that through the song. And then from the C major 9, we're going to be going to an A minor chord. When we play A minor, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger goes to the D on the second fret, and third finger goes to the G string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. Now because of some of the licks in the tune, though, you may want to think about using something called A minor 7, where you take your pinky and kind of play the high E string on the third fret with the A minor. So you may want to kind of think about that. And if you're kind of digging on the what I call the drone voicing, is actually kind of that C major 9, G major with the 3 and 4, you may want to think about something called A7 sus for your A's. And then we play A7 sus, first finger goes to the D string second fret, second finger on the G string second fret, third finger on the B string third fret, pinky on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that's called an A7 sus. And then from the A minor, we're going to be going back to C major. And then we go to a D major chord. When we play D major, first finger goes to the G on the second fret, second finger goes to the high E on the second fret, and third finger goes to the B string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that'll sound a D major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now a lot of times while I'm on a D chord, though, I like adding in some other Ds. And if you took your pinky and kind of added them in on the high E third fret, that's something called a D sus. So you want to think about kind of quick changes to D sus. Or another change on the D chord is you could use something called a D sus 2, where you kind of lift off the second finger. So I got first finger G string second, third finger on the B string third. So a lot of times while you're on D, you can actually kind of play around with those other Ds with the suspended chord. So through our intro, we kind of have this G major, C major, A minor, C major, D major. But a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we tried that through our intro. You'd have G with a down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down. And then we kind of have to have a C and D at the end. C, down, down, D, down, down, up, and then kind of right back. So we got G, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, up, G, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, up, A, down, 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 C, down, down, D, down, down, up. Now something else you may want to think about adding to the song, though, is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you could throw in a bass note for the chord. So we can kind of work it as kind of a bass, down, up, down. And on the G chord, you could use the low E string for your bass note. And actually, there's a really cool hit at the beginning where you may want to kind of almost think about the G as kind of halving between a G chord and then something called a G/B, where you do the A string for your bass chord, or bass note on the G chord. So we'll kind of be going low E on the third bass, A string on the second bass, so kind of alternating between the E string and the A string is kind of on your C chord, you got the A string for your bass. So C with an A bass, down, up, down. On the A minor, you got an A string for the bass. And on the C chord, you got the A string for the bass. And we could work that halving part as kind of a bass down up on the C, and then go to the D with a D bass, and then kind of work that as kind of a bass down up at the end. So we tried bass down, up, through our intro. We'd have G with a low E bass, down up G slash B with an A bass, down up C with an A bass, down up, down up A minor with an A bass, down up, down C with an A bass, down up D with a D bass, down up G with a low E bass, down up G slash B with an A bass, down up C with an A bass, down up, down A minor with an A bass, down up, down C with an A bass, down up D with a D bass, down up. And then from our verse, we'll be going into our pre-chorus part. And our pre-chorus starts on an E minor chord. And when we play E minor, first finger goes to the A string, 2nd fret. Second finger goes to the D string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now you may want to think about something called E minor 7 through this too, especially if you're digging on the drone voicings, where you could take the 3rd finger and add them in on the B string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the high E string 3rd fret. That's called E minor 7. It still sounds kind of sad. And then from the E minor, we'll be going to an A minor chord. And then we go to a D7 chord. When we play D7, first finger goes to the B string 1st fret, second finger goes to the G string 2nd fret, and the 3rd finger goes to the high E string on the 2nd fret. And you could substitute in just a D major for that change if you wanted to. And then from the D7 in our pre-chorus, we go to the G major, and it's almost kind of like a 2-hit thing where you do 2 downs on it. And then we go to something called D slash F sharp, which means you're playing a D major chord, but you want to try and get in the 2nd fret on the low E string as kind of an F sharp note below it. So one way to play that is to do first finger on the low E string 2nd, second finger on the G string 2nd, 3rd finger on the high E 2nd, and the pinky on the B string 3rd. And that sounds something called D slash F sharp. Another way to play that chord is to take your D major shape and then use your thumb for that low E string on the 2nd fret. And another possibility you may want to think about is something called D sus slash F sharp, especially when you're digging on the drone voicings, where you do first finger on the low E string 2nd, second finger on the G string 2nd, 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, and the pinky on the high E string 3rd. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like D sus slash F sharp. So you may want to kind of think about that for kind of that G major, D slash F sharp, just kind of that push to go into our chorus. So we tried our pre-chorus with our down, down, up, down, up. We'd have E minor, down, up, A minor, down, down, D7, down, up, G, down, D slash F sharp. And then from there, we'd be going into our chorus part. Now, if we added basses to our pre-chorus, though, we'd have E minor, low E bass, down, up, A minor with an A bass, down, D with a D bass, down, G, down, D slash F sharp. Or if you wanted to, you could even kind of work that push as kind of a bass down up. Could be a cool way to kind of work that too. And then from there, we go into our chorus part. And our chorus starts on E minor, and then we go to an A minor, and then we go to a D major, but then we go to a G7. When we play G7, you could substitute in just the G for this if you're digging on that. But the way you play G7, first finger goes to the high E on the 1st fret, second finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, and 3rd finger goes to the low E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G7 chord, and it sounds really, really nasty, and it's not supposed to. And then the G7 almost sounds like we go between the G7 and kind of that G slash B, or just a regular G chord. Although you could kind of even it out and just do your whole strum pattern on the G7 if you're feeling it that way. And then we go to C major. But then from the C major, we go to a C minor chord. And the way you play C minor, normally you do this as a 3rd fret bar with the first finger, second finger on the B string 4th fret, 3rd finger on the D string on the 5th fret, pinky on the G string on the 5th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like C minor. Now a lot of times with bar chords, though, you can take the skinny few strings and make smaller versions of the chord. So you could take first finger and go to the high E on the 3rd fret, second finger on the B string 4th fret, 3rd finger on the G string on the 5th fret. And if you strum the top 3 strings, that's another way you can play C minor. Or you could even take the 3rd finger if you're a little bit more adventurous and go to the D string on the 5th fret, pinky on the G string on the 5th fret, and kind of make that a little bit thicker C minor. And then from the C minor, we're going to be going to the G major chord. But then we go to an E major chord when we play E major. First finger goes to the G string on the first fret, second finger on the A string on the second fret, and third finger on the D string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord. It sounds really, really happy. Notice it kind of looks like an A minor, and actually that's where we end up going after that, is we kind of have a big push on A minor, and then a big push on D major. So we tried that with our down, down, up, up, down, up. One weird part is where we got the kind of that G7, G major change. And on that part, you could just do kind of your down, down, up on each chord. So we have E minor with a down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, D major, down, down, up, down, G7, down, down, G, down, down, C, down, down, up, down, C minor, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, D major, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, D major, down. Or if we were going to add in basses to that, the G7 would have the low E string for your bass when you get to that chord. And you may want to work that change as kind of a G7 with a bass, down up G/B with an A bass, down up to kind of lead into the C chord. And then the C minor, if you're doing the bar C minor, would have the A string for your bass. And then on the E major, we'd have the low E string for the bass when we get to the E major. So we tried our chorus with bass notes. We'd have E minor with the bass, down, up, down, A minor with an A bass, down, up, down, D with a D bass, down, up, down, G7 with low E bass, down, G/B with an A bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, C minor with an A bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, D major with low E bass, down, down, big A minor, big D major. And then from there, we'll be going into our bridge part. And our bridge part kind of starts with kind of that G major, and it almost kind of gets split. It's kind of a G major, G/B idea twice. And then we go to our D major with our whole strum pattern. And then we go to E minor for kind of half a measure, and then we go to a B minor chord. And we play B minor. First finger goes across the entire second fret, second finger on the B string on the third fret, third finger on the D string on the fourth fret, and the pinky on the G string on the fourth fret. And you'll notice that looks like the C minor, but we're kind of one fret away from where we're doing our C minor. So the smaller versions of our C minor chord could work for this B minor chord. So you could do first finger on the high E on the second fret, second finger on the B string on the third fret, third finger on the G string on the fourth fret. And if you strum just actually the D, G, and B, or the G, B, and E, that's another way you can play B minor. Or you could take your third finger and kind of go all adventurous and go to the D string on the fourth fret, pinky on the G string on the fourth fret to make that a little bit thicker. Or you could use something else. Actually, you could use a B minor 7 in root position. When you play B minor 7, first finger goes to the A string second fret, second finger goes to the G string second fret, third finger goes to the high E string on the second fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E, that's another B minor you might want to think about. And if you were digging on the drone voicings, actually, you could do first finger on the A second, second finger on the G string second, third finger on the B string third, pinky on the high E string third, and kind of work that as for kind of your B minor chord. And then from the B minor, we're going back to C major, and then we do another C major, and actually we hear a cool little bass walk, actually, the second foot on the A string, that kind of leads into an A minor chord, and then we do kind of our D major at the very, very end of our bridge. So we tried our bridge with our down, down, up, up, down, up. We could have G with a down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, B minor, down, C, down, down, C, down, up, down, A minor, down, up, down, D, down, up. And then we'll be repeating that. But if we tried basses through it, you may want to think about doing the G as kind of a bass down up G/B down up kind of idea for your G chords. And then on your D chord, you got the D string for your bass. On the E minor, we got the low E bass, but we kind of have to half that with a B minor that has an A bass. And then we got the C with an A bass. And you might want to kind of work that second C as kind of a bass down up, and then you could even kind of throw in that second fret on the A string to lead into that A minor with your bass down up, down up. And on the second time through, actually, we end up doing kind of just a big D push. But if we tried the D push, so we tried our bridge with our bass down up, down up, we'd have G with low E bass, down G/B, down G with low E bass, down G/B, down D with the D bass, down, up, down, E minor with low E bass, down, B minor with an A bass, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, C with an A bass, down, up to A minor with an A bass, down, up, down, big D, kind of through that part. And then from there, then we'd be going back into our intro part, and then kind of repeating our sections. Now, one other weird thing, or what it really sounds like in the recording, is that you could do this finger style. And so if you're interested in doing it that way, your thumb kind of becomes your bass player. And what I would do is index finger is going to kind of get lined up on the G string, middle finger gets lined up on the B string, and the ring finger gets lined up on the high E string. And your basic pattern kind of becomes kind of a bass with the thumb, and then index, middle, ring is kind of a fingers idea. So at the very, very beginning, it's almost like where we're halving our G and our G slash B. And the idea is kind of bass, fingers, kill it, bass, fingers, kill it. And so you may want to do that as kind of a slap down on the guitar with kind of that kill it idea. Or kind of use your hand to kind of flatten it out. And you can almost kind of get a cool little slap sound that way. So you may want to kind of think about that. And then on our full measures where we got kind of the C, you may want to think kind of a bass chord kind of idea, kind of doing that idea twice. So we tried out that idea through our intro. We'd have G, G slash B, C major, A minor, C major, D major, G major, G slash B, C major, A minor, C, D. So you may want to kind of think about using that. And if we tried that through our verse, actually we'd be keeping that going. So C, A minor, C major, D, G, G slash B, C, A minor, C major, D major. And then if we tried that idea through our pre-chorus, we'd have our E minor, A minor, D major, D7, G, D, G slash D, or D slash F sharp. And on that part, you may want to kind of use all your fingers to kind of make that big push, kind of thumb fingers together. So everybody together, everybody together. And then if we try that idea through our chorus part, then we have the E minor, A minor, D major, G7, G slash B, C, and then C minor, G, E major, and then we got kind of a big push on A minor, big push on D, and then maybe even a D7. And then from there, then we kind of go back into kind of our bridge part. We have the G, G slash B, G, G slash B, D with the D bass, E minor, B minor, C, 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 C to A minor, D, G, G slash B, G, G slash B, D, D, E minor, B minor, C, 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 B, A minor. And then we got kind of a big D major. And then at the very end, we kind of have it down up on D and then G. It's kind of a big push at the very, very end. But that's the basics of how you can strum through more than words and kind of do some easy fingerstyle there too by Extreme. So good luck!